In a few years' time, if we are lucky, 2022 will be considered the year when sports will change Birmingham. This is an opinion column. It's never a single moment, never a solitary get that changes a city, that amps its trajectory. Atlanta is Atlanta, it's often said, because Delta Airlines chose to pitch its tent there in 1955 after Birmingham hemmed, hawed, and whined. Truth is Atlanta, the diverse, economically vibrant black mecca of the South, for myriad reasons, with Delta certainly being its hub city, certainly high on the list. Oversimplified, they talk of the Atlanta Way, a pithy term going back some 6 decades when the city's white and black influences agreed to temper their differences and collaborate towards mutual benefit. That way prioritized growth over generations of racial discord and spawned an unprecedented wave of black wealth. Read more on USFL, how USFL came to Birmingham and almost didn't. Birmingham deal brings SWAC, Coach Prime to Legion. First game of Birmingham-based USFL will be simulcast on Fox, NBC. Reggie Bush visits AG Gaston Boys Girls Club, promotes USFL. We should be so lucky. We should be so lucky if decades from now, they'll talk of the Birmingham Way. If they share how all hues of influences stifled generations of distrust and unabashed disgust that proliferated and poisoned Alabama's most vital metropolitan area, how we finally shed our forebearers' foolishness and ancestors' racial animus for mutual benefit. Should we be so lucky, they won't identify a solitary moment or a single get that launched the way. There won't be a Delta Airline, though they will, almost certainly, speak of the USFL, of network power-backed spring football. They will talk of that day in late January 2022 when the heads of 2 major sports television entities jetted to Birmingham and filled a room with state legislators, county commissioners, city council and school board members, the mayor, community and business leaders, sports executives, and curious residents, all there to commemorate the arrival of an intriguingly unique incarnation of the sport we love most. One backed by $150 million, the network say. One built not to break our hearts like their faulty forebears, they also say. One played, at least for the inaugural season, entirely in Birmingham. 8 teams, 43 games, 37,000 hotels room nights, and an unquantifiable measure of national television exposure. One tackled by the historic regional alliance that converged to build Protective Stadium, working through its understandable skepticism and its still tenuous ties. They will talk, years from now, about the World Games and how thousands of visitors from many nations venture to Birmingham. They will certainly talk about Coach Prime and Swag, how the matchups between NFL Hall of Famer Deion Sanders' Jackson State Tigers and Southern gave the Magic City Classic a run. They will talk about games of old and new, about big games at all levels, from high school football and basketball to NCAA basketball tournament. They will talk about myriad meets at the Birmingham Crossplex, about barber, about golf, about bicycle races, for goodness sakes. They will talk about then spanking new Protective Stadium, upgraded Legacy Arena. They will talk mostly, though, about how they all came to be, how political enemies once again manifested a still new alliance, how community skeptics became supporters. Birmingham Mayor Randall Woodfin and Fox Sports analyst Reggie Bush joined the announcement for the new USFL on January 25, 2022 at Protective Stadium for mutual benefit, about how, on the night before that Tuesday in January 2022, 17 Fox Sports and USFL executives broke bread with 14 Birmingham political and business leaders at Michael's, a black-owned restaurant on the Southside just beyond the left field wall. Broke bread and scattered the final crumbs of skepticism. They might even talk about how the historic convergence helped lift Birmingham into the South's next viable on-the-map sports hub, about how sports helped Birmingham endure a pandemic's economic gut punch, about how sports generated enough revenue to transform, finally, long-neglected neighborhoods, to address poverty, to scale black and women-owned ventures, to ignite new generational wealth, to change the way we see ourselves and each other, and the way others see us. They will talk about that Tuesday in January 2022 when the USFL came to town the Birmingham Way. If we're so lucky. More columns by Roy S. Johnson. Hey, Republicans, anti-voting rights is anti-American, even anti-Republican. Just go home Trump and take your rooting friends with you. Lawmakers, rescue our state by funding affordable housing and public transportation. Districts whose representatives didn't vote for infrastructure bills shouldn't get the money. Don't merely delay third-grade holdback, scrap it for something better. Roy S. Johnson is a 2021 Pulitzer Prize finalist for commentary and winner of 2021 Edward R. Murrow Prize for podcasts, Unjustifiable, co-hosted with John Archibald. His column appears in the Birmingham News and AL.com, as well as the Huntsville Times, the Mobile Press Register. Reach him at rejohnson@al.com, follow him at twitter.com/Royce, or on Instagram at Royce.